But I mean, episode 6 could be the episode that turns me all around, so.
It could be.
You're now rocking with TDF Everything. Spoiled Rotten.
Spoiler alert.
Welcome and welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
It's me, Daniel,
And this is Ben.
on Spoiled Rotten. And today, it is Fallout Season 2, Episode 6 time. We are
That's right.
talking about that episode of this show. You know what? I feel like they touched on some things I've been complaining about.
Yeah,
with Barb.
I was curious about whether or not you like this a little bit more, but so that's good.
It does feel like they're finally at the point of their season.
Yeah, I feel like this should have happened a long time ago. But like, if we finally got somewhere where it's like, oh, we're actually doing interesting things now.
Like, this feels like it should have been episode 3.
Yes. I was gonna say either 3 or 4, but yeah, you know, it doesn't matter. We finally got to the point of this season.
We made it. So this episode starts with Barb in the past, and she's basically getting the pitch on what's going to happen when they push the button. And I know why, but it just felt like a weird thing that this guy was giddy about. Of like, and you get to choose who like starves and stuff, and I'm just like, just so evil. For no reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason is supposedly research, but I mean, like, realistically, I don't see any scientists taking notes or anything like that. You know what I mean?
It just seems like business people. No real science. But this is where you start to see that Barb is like, wait a minute, I don't know about all this.
Yeah.
Which didn't show up in the first season. And
yes.
I don't really feel like they're saying this happened like the day before. I feel like they're trying to like that's why I feel like it should have happened. This episode should have happened earlier in the season. It feels like we're switching perspectives now, which is good and interesting because now we get to know what's going on with Barb. But it's also like episode 6 of an 8-episode season.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I guess we won't be sitting with this for long.
Yeah, they didn't really pace that conflict very, very well, for sure.
Yeah, it's just this scene proves that this is not going well for her. She's visibly upset by this. Then we get it. This is all in the past still, and she's with Hank, and he gets to sit on it. I don't know. Did we say this last episode that he's probably the one that pushes the button?
Hank? No, I don't think we said that. Because I remember being like, I don't know who does it. And
yeah, okay,
you know,
we don't know. I'm not like. It just feels like he's so eager and like, present for all the important things. Like this meeting with Robco.
Robco.
It's Mr. House's company.
Mr. House's Robot company. That's basically what Robco is.
I knew it was Robotco, but I'm like, it can't be Robco. It's got to be like, that doesn't really go with robot.
Yeah, it's definitely a robot, and then he's shortened it down.
Yeah.
He's very, very eager to please someone. And that has been teased throughout this whole well, not throughout this whole season. It's been teased in a few other episodes, like who he got off the phone with and all that kind of stuff, and who he was making that call to, and they were like, hey, when this is all over, you will be begging to work with me kind of thing. So it's just one of those situations where I'm like, okay, at least that storyline, that thread is being pulled a little bit more. That's a little bit interesting.
They're going somewhere with that.
Yeah, and to show that they went all the way back to the beginning of like, oh no, he's always been into this mind control technology. Yeah, he's always been motivated from the start. A real go-getter, if you will.
Because that's what Robco's like presenting, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And
I like that moment where he's like, hey, I think you missed a memo here. Because you're
no,
buying this from me.
Yeah.
I get the cold fusion technology and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Mhm.
I don't. I know that sets up something later, but I'm just like
Mhm.
this. We're getting to this too late because how did she not know any
Yes.
of this stuff? It
Yeah.
really made the first season made her seem like she was in control.
Yep.
And I was arguing she should be just a figurehead,
Yep.
but they just didn't get there till now. So I guess I just have to give them credit for getting there finally.
Yeah, that's why I always like to say, hey, we're not wrong, we're just early. Because, like, that is true. Like, season 1 had us all believing she was stone cold and being like, no, I'm just gonna make this pitch at this meeting. It's gonna be great for our shareholders and all this kind of stuff. And I would have done a great job and gotten a gold star ribbon, right? That's what we thought in season 1. That's what they made it seem like. Now in season 2, retroactively way too late, they're like, oh no, wait, she had conflict with this decision. She just wasn't. She wasn't like, but on I want to push.
Well,
the
she
button.
like cries about it, like it's a big
Yep.
deal. And she goes to see a picture of her family, which I never doubted that she loved her daughter, but it just felt like,
Mhm.
oh, so you do like Cooper,
Mhm,
which
mhm.
they've been teasing this season. I shouldn't even have to say it that way. Like obviously she's there when he passes out and like wants to take care of him, but before it just felt like she was kind of like, and this is my Rube husband who will never question what's going on. And then this season, it feels like she's like, "Oh no, but like, don't you see? I'm doing this for us. I love us."
Yeah.
Yeah. She gets into it with Cooper. Like we get to see the confrontation that started at the end of the
Mhm.
last episode,
Mhm.
or at the end of him in the past last episode. So yeah, he's basically, I know what you're doing, and I like that he's like, so were you always a monster, or did you just become one?
Mhm,
And the whole
mhm.
like, how come you're okay killing millions to save Janie?
Mhm.
And she's like, how are you not? Which I think makes sense, like from her point of
Yes.
view. Like,
Uh-huh.
I mean, like why wouldn't I want to save us? It just wasn't presented like that before, so that's fine.
Yeah, it absolutely wasn't. And that's why I said like the shareholder thing, because that's what it was presented like in season 1. Now in season 2, it's just like, oh, okay, you actually see her side of it, and just like, okay, she is legitimately trying to protect it. She's doing horrible things to protect her family and all that kind of stuff. But there is a humanity behind that, and there's an understanding behind that, and that part is good to explore. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, yeah, you're still part of that corporate machine, which later on we will talk about, because there's a very interesting little tidbit for sure.
By the way,
that I'm sure you
I
don't
just
wanna
put
get
all
to.
this stuff from the past into one thing. So if
Okay, so
if
I
in
can
the
talk
order
about it
that
now.
well,
Yeah.
basically, she gets in the elevator with that guy from the first season.
Yeah,
I think
the
the
first
actor's name
episode.
is Michael Emerson.
Yeah.
And at first, I was like, "Oh, they're going there," because he's like, "You're just a puppet," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he's like, "No, we all are," and I was like, "Oh, so we're still not getting into the racial stuff." But
Yeah.
but yeah, he's just like, yeah, neither one of us could do anything on our own.
Mhm.
And he basically is like, now listen to me and listen to me good. You need to go tell Mr. House, like, that we are all going to just drop this bomb.
Mhm.
And I was just like, so close to what I wanted to see, which was confirmation that these white people in power were like, you are here as the blackface that gives us protection.
Yes.
But that's not really what they were going for.
Yeah, it's a shame because they had it right there, and it was so close. Because like the guy that plays the scientist and all that kind of stuff in the elevator, he's got a real like Nazi scientist vibe to him. He, like, you know what I mean? It's just like that is a point in time where you do bring up racial tension stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And exert power and all that kind of stuff. That's the point in time to do it. But then they're just like, nope, we're all cogs in a machine. And I'm like, well, that just
point.
sucks.
It
is a point.
It's a point, but it's not like a...
It's not the point that we are hoping to explore, which is...
Because she thought she was in control. And
yes.
I know I just keep saying it was what I was complaining about in the first season, which is like, well, what is this? I don't know, cognitive dissonance here. Like, what does she not understand how this is working, or is she really in control? And if she is, how is her husband not like understanding what's going on here? Like, where's the disconnect? Is what I wanted to say.
Yeah, it's really hard to discuss this world that they clearly want to make a fantasy world where racism is only convenient to talk about when the plot needs to talk about it, which is never, so to speak, unless it's against Chinese soldiers and all that kind of stuff, in which case I'm just like, no, that's just a war thing more than anything else. It's not really racism, I think. But yeah, it's a bummer because they got so close. I'm like, are they gonna do it? Are they gonna? Nope. They pulled the parachute and took the safe route out. It sucks.
Yeah,
because
we'll see where this goes. As I said, it does feel like they're kind of shifting perspectives now. Like before, it was just about Cooper as the ghoul trying to get his family back. Now it feels like we're actually like, all right, so what was it like for Barb before she was frozen? If she is frozen, we've just seen her thing, containment, but there was no like, they didn't show enough to show a body.
Yeah, there's no confirmation yet, so we don't know.
Just that she was able to be frozen along with Janie because there's things with their names on it.
Yeah.
So she does end up telling everything to Cooper, which I like.
Yes.
And she's just like, all right, look, I gotta. And he is also like, no, we could do something. We're gonna do something. And I like that she's like, it's not like your movies. This isn't the thing. This isn't a thing where everything works out.
Mm-hmm. And that part I do very much appreciate, that self-preservation aspect and the realistic, practical aspect of her nature and all that kind of stuff, which is, again, hinting at racial tension things, where it's just like, hey, white man, if this is not one of your movies where you're the main character and all that kind of stuff, life don't work like that. You can't
just save the day.
Yeah.
None of us are going to be able to do it. It's what the guy in the elevator said, but less menacing.
Yes, and in this situation, I'm like, yeah, it does make sense that a black woman is saying that to a white guy, but like, that's not what they wanted.
That anyone is saying it to a white guy.
That's
which
true.
Is kind of what frustrates me.
True.
It's like, it's still not really engaging with her as a black woman. It's just someone who's not a white guy being like, hey, wake up, man.
Yeah, you can't do this by yourself, and it's true, you can't.
Or it's not even you can't do this by yourself. It's very realistically, what do you think you're gonna do against a system? Like you can't punch a system.
Yeah, because I do like
anything you do. You're gonna say something, and that person's gonna be part of the system that wants this to happen. So
yes, absolutely,
it's not gonna work out properly.
Yeah, it ain't like a movie where there's like a MacGuffin, and that MacGuffin will tear down everything. And I do like the frame of like, that's how they're gonna deliver it to the guy that is in that position of like a main movie star and all that kind of stuff. But it is still, they're hiding behind those layers of like the real conversation that should be happening, I feel. But
I mean, if
or
you're gonna
at least that I
this
want
woman
to
in the role, they should be happening.
Yeah.
Or you could have avoided this.
Yes.
Yeah, which seems to be only a problem for you and me.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. It's basically, Cooper's like, I don't even know you, man. And then he walks out.
Yeah, he used to be about the music.
Yeah.
He does that move, and I'm like, okay, yeah, go get some space, blow off some steam, all that kind of stuff. But then he has another plan.
Yeah, he finds Hank.
Yeah, that's right.
Take Hank, and I don't know what is. I mean,
he didn't know what his plan was either.
We got him home.
They got him to the suite, and that's about it. And I doubt he knew he had that cold fusion device in his neck.
Is that what that? It's just cold fusion. Like, I know it's from the first season. I was like, they show it obviously chronologically before this in the episode, but since we're doing all the past stuff now, it's like, I know it's later in what we're going to talk about, but I was just like, I don't remember what this is. Like, what does this do? It's
cold fusion.
Yeah. Anyway, he sees the suitcase, and Barb comes home at this exact same time, and she's the one that gets the stuff out of Hank.
Yeah,
the cold fusion, to be clear.
Yeah, they extracted the thing out of his neck.
To
That was
which I
kinda cool.
Like, what is happening? What does that mean?
That's what's interesting to me is like, what is happening now? Is like, you just walk around with, and I don't even know remotely the science of cold fusion and all that kind of stuff, but can you just walk around with it in your neck? And, you
This
know.
is why I was like, I feel like I'm missing. I guess I should have just been paying attention during season 1, because I feel like that was the big thing that the Michael Emerson character did in season 1, which is show you can take the cold fusion out of someone's neck.
Right. Yeah,
but it didn't stick with me. So
I don't think they explained. In all fairness, I don't think they explained it. I just think they did it, and then we were like, "Cool. I wonder what that's all about."
Well, other people said cool. I was just like, all right, let's move on.
I was kind of like, cool.
Then. Yeah.
Shiny.
Yeah, I am. People already know we've been doing this for 3 episodes now. It's just not my show.
Yeah, we're not high on this season whatsoever, for sure.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't remember why this is happening or what it's leading to.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to assume that this is a case where the show has explained it and I just didn't retain it.
I don't think they have. I just think it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, they made a deal with Mr. House to get the cold fusion. He may or may not have gotten it and all that kind of stuff at this point. We don't know. But at the end of the day, it's just like, this is the gambling chips that they wanted.
This is why I was also confused when he was like, no, you're paying me. In exchange, I get cold fusion. I'm like, so you get paid twice? What?
Yeah. Because the weird
what
thing...
That? What is happening?
So the weird thing about the Mr. House thing is like, you're telling me he's that much smarter than everyone else, but he couldn't figure out cold fusion, but Vault Tech could. What the hell? Like, that's the weird thing about it.
What deal is I guess that's why he said they're idiots.
Yeah.
They're morons. Because in what world are you like, yeah, we'll give you cold fusion and pay you for these remote control, like these transponders?
Yeah, I guess they just
sense.
Well, it only makes sense because they wanted the mind control because that's what Vault-Tec didn't do. So it's just like, I guess what they wanted in order to repopulate the world afterwards, which is their Liberation Day is what they call it, is probably to chip everyone so that they can rapidly rebuild under one world order.
I just feel like, as someone who recently rewatched Spider-Man 2, there's the Harry Osborn thing of, I'll pay you, Doc Ock, and give you the tritium you need to do the thing that will make me look good.
Yes.
But in this case, they're just like, we'll pay you and give you something else that we don't know that you want, and we'll just give that to you as well. It doesn't seem like a one-to-one the way the tritium and money was a one-to-one of like, you need this thing, and if you have it, it makes me look good, and here's some money to do it. So here are the 2 things that you want, and I see how I benefit from this at the end. Whereas they could just be like, hey, here's the cold fusion, give us the transponder. I don't understand what the money is and the transponder and the cold fusion.
I mean, to be fair, I don't remember, and I just watched the episode too while I was working out. Not for the first time, for the second time, just a refresh. But I watched it, and I'm like, I don't remember there being money being negotiated through that. Well, he said,
you're paying me, and in exchange, I get things. So, like,
I'm thinking the pay. Yes, it is. It is worded weirdly. I do believe
you're paying me with cold fusion. That's different, and I don't think that is what he's saying, because why would that mean anything to the woman who had no idea that any of that was going to happen if it wasn't money based?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's, I guess, where she realizes she's losing control, because she's not even, basically communications are above her pay grade at this point. It's just like, you know, that kind of stuff, and that's what is creating good tension, I think. But it's coming like 2 episodes before the season finale, and that sucks. There's like, that tension could have been used in like episode 3 or 4. We could have used that. And then they could have continued on with the brain technology and all that kind of stuff to be like, hey, guess what? Mr. House all the way back then sold you snake oil because the technology was not perfected back then. It needed to be perfected now.
But it feels like the technology does work.
It does work now based on this episode, because for factors I don't know, because it seems like everyone that was a vault dweller doesn't seem to work on, but everyone that seems to be a surface walker seems to work really, really well. So I don't know what their explanation is going to be.
I guess I just don't know what you would need it for a vault dweller. Like, if they're born down there and like that's the only life they know, then you don't have to trick them into anything or force them. You just indoctrinate them with this is how
that's what I feel is the silly part about this, is just like, if you have vault dwellers and you have control to all the propaganda, all the education, everything that they have, why do you further need this brain chip thing?
Well, like, that's why I thought it was just for people that like the Vault Tech staff that was like the Claudia person, like
right,
you get
right,
someone like that
would
who wasn't
sense.
born down there,
right,
and then you just put the chips in when you're ready, so that they just act like everyone else.
Sure. To me, it was just like, this seems really poorly thought out, because on some level, you would think that if they got the chips before, and that whole deal was done before the nukes dropped, then all the Vault Tech people that are employees, wouldn't they automatically come out with that chip already installed? You know what I mean? It's just like, it feels super weird that I'm just like, the order of things is not there. It's just like, why would you want these chips after the fact? Why wouldn't you want to just drop the bomb and then have the chips installed and then, New World Order?
This is exactly why I have to say every episode, I don't think that this is inherently bad. It's just not for me. Because we're talking about this and I'm like, I care that we have the discussion to talk this out.
Yes.
But I'm not like, oh, this is what ruined it for me. It's just, I'm already not like that into it. So these types of things, I'm not like, but I need answers. I'm just like, I don't know if this makes sense to me. And I'm sure it does make sense and they thought it out. And people who are more engaged with the show get it and could explain it better. It's just not working for me. So I'm just like, I don't think it's actually bad. I just think it's not for me.
That's fair. It is good for the people that love the games and all that kind of stuff, especially like me, because we do get those moments where like, oh, that's for the game. I remember what that's for. And like, there's small little moments like that, but that does not create a good TV show. It does not do that, because it's just too esoteric for the who is this for at that point? Is it just for the gamers? Because the gamers probably don't care about the story that's being told, given the fact that they have their own RPG story in their heads and their own memories and all that kind of stuff, right? So they have their own memories. So then you would think that this is for a newer audience. But realistically, it's so esoteric in its own story writing that it's just like, is it though? It seems to be alienating the audience. And that's why last episode I gave the example of like, this seems like season 1 was, you had a nerd, a geek, so to speak, that was like, hey, baby, you want to check out this show? And then rope them into this show together and all that kind of stuff. That's what season 1 seemed like. But I find it hard to believe that season 2 can get that same appeal, especially week to week drops.
I think if people are into it, they're into it. Like I was at a party this past weekend with people who really enjoy season 2. They were surprised I didn't like it. And while I'm sure some of them play games, I didn't see them as the like gamer crowd.
Okay.
And I think it just worked for them. And I was like, yeah, that's good.
Interesting.
That's what I want to hear. That a bunch of people got together and made this second season, and that it wasn't for nothing.
Right.
And that people are enjoying it.
That's fair.
But that's not me. Now we're in the present with the ghoul impaled.
Yep.
And me being like, this is happening for too long.
The whole like turning zombie,
turning, no, I'm
like
not
fully
turning. And I get the determination. Again, if I was into this show more, I think this would have been like fist pumping stuff for me, especially as I don't know, like has that second win and tries to pull himself up. But I was just like, I mean, he's obviously not going to make it. I don't know why we're doing this to ourselves. I guess it looks good. I was just kind of like, why is everyone literally just walking by him? He's making enough of a racket that someone would be like, let's put this guy out of his misery or something.
Yeah, that's what I would expect, because I'm like, especially because a lot of these scenes are at nighttime, and I'm like, there's not a lot of people on the street like you would expect for New Vegas, where it's like
people are walking by.
They are walking by, but what I mean, it's not a party like you would expect.
No,
is my point. So that my point is that it's quiet enough for me to believe that screaming, that grunting would actually annoy someone and be like, hey, we need to do something about this situation because he's disturbing my sleep.
I will say this: they did get me with the dog. I was like, "Hey, stupid dog, give him what he needs."
Dog meat is awesome.
Why are you taking his hat? They genuinely got me with that.
Yeah,
I know that's
dog
not
meat
how it ends
is
up, but
great.
while watching it in real time, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this dog! I can't believe he'd betray him like this." So at least there's that.
Yep.
I guess, yeah, what I meant to say was that it seems like he's fighting to see his daughter. That's like the second.
Yes.
That's the second wind he gets of like, no,
yeah.
I'm not giving up if there's a chance to see my daughter.
Yeah.
Again, I'm putting all of this stuff together. I don't. My notes don't even allow me to remember if all of this came together, but I'm putting it all together, which is, I don't know if they gave a character name, but it's Ron Perlman.
It is Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman.
That was my fist pump moment.
Yeah, I guess he's saying he's a mutant.
He's a super mutant. There's a difference.
Sure.
It's a different. Basically it's a different class in the game, and this is where the racism stuff really comes into play. It's just like, so you have the mutants that are like who what's his face is interacting with right now. Those are the more humanoid mutants, and then you have the really, really like
there's no mistaking these for people with just dusty faces.
Yes, and a part of me was thinking like, why haven't they shown super mutants already? They shown Deathclaws this season, and now I know why. It's kind of a cool moment because this is the fun lore thing. Is just every Fallout game that has voiceover narration or just voice acting work. Ron Perlman's the one that goes in every single game in the opening sequence. War never changes. So to have
it is Ron Perlman in the game.
Yes,
it
really
is
cool. Him voicing it in the game. So for him to be playing the role of a super mutant, which to me is very, very cool. And what he says is like, "Hey, there's a war coming," and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, now we're going somewhere. But this is all a setup for season 3, as far as I'm concerned. Like, there can't be any good resolution to that in season 2.
I mean, yeah, I feel like the show's not hiding that though. Like
yeah.
I think it's a new thing for the ghoul to be aware of, which is the super mutants. The mutants and the ghouls need to band together to fight back. And the ghoul's like, no, I'm not doing that. I like the super mutant is kind of just like, well, then you can't know where we live, and knocks him back up.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I thought he was going to be like, how dare you? I'm killing you. But he was like, well, then you don't get to know where you are right now.
Is that such a punishment? Whatever. I'm like, even if you said yes, I'm like, do you really want to believe him right off the bat? You did capture him.
He seems like a pretty honorable person to save him. Be like, do you want to join my team? No? Yeah. Okay, I'll just take you home.
And then also not have the uranium healing element be a gambling chip or a negotiating chip.
No, you just do it. And
he just does it right
still
away.
So that you can heal faster. You're going to slow it down if you move around.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If I were actually the ghoul, no, I wouldn't trust him. But watching it, I'm like, I don't know. I'll just trust this guy because he seems very straightforward.
Yeah. He seems to know what he wants, and he's giving me free healthcare and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. And he took you home. Like, he didn't. It wasn't even like you've made a horrible mistake and you've made an enemy. He was just like, okay, well then, fuck you. You don't get to know my secrets.
Yeah. It's so funny. But it did. That was my like, yeah moment. I'm like, oh my god, we got super mutants, and it's played by Ron Perlman. This is sick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always happy to see Ron Perlman.
Yeah, me too. He's great.
Okay. Now we do the Lucy stuff. I hope. I don't know. Seems like maybe I put this out of order. But this Lucy stuff, she wakes up.
Yep.
I'm assuming in a vault.
In the management vault or one of the buildings or whatever it is. I don't think it's
I only say
important.
vault because later on there's the whole like, well, we got to leave the door open for people. So
sure.
I just assumed it was a vault.
I don't think you're wrong in that assumption.
I don't think it matters. She's somewhere. And yeah, again, I'm confused as to. I thought the plan was to put her in Vault 33, but she's obviously not there.
Yes. So the next safest place.
The
would
dad
be
wants
the
to make a
vault
point
that's there.
now,
Yes.
but my understanding was he was like, "Hey, stay out of my way. I'm keeping you over there while I do my shit." But now he's on this whole, "I'm gonna prove to you that what I'm doing is right."
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh, like this is interesting to watch. I would rather this."
Yes.
But also, it just seems in stark contrast to what it felt like you were trying to do last episode.
Yeah, it was a real big fast switch, like real fast, and I'm just like, that seems out of character. That's weird, because you're still doing your thing, and now you're just like, oh, maybe I can convince her.
And she's supposed to get put on that yellow dress, but she does not.
She does not.
Like, good for you, defiant.
That's right.
She walks in on Hank, who's making breakfast, and he wants to basically, obviously we know what he's actually trying to get at, but he's presenting his, I guess, monologue as a book report.
Yep.
On, did I write down what the book was? Nope.
Of War and Peace?
No, it's All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh yeah, All Quiet on the Western Front, yes.
And yeah, so he starts off slow, kind of sets the bait on like, what did you think of the ending? And she's like, I didn't finish it. And he's like, well, what did you think about what you did read? And then is immediately like, everyone was just kind of mean to each other, right? Like trying to kill each other and hurting each other, which is obviously supposed to reflect her time on the surface. And he's basically like, yeah, it's so weird that humans think to be safe they have to hurt each other or kill each other. But then she's got the scissors to his neck right away, and he can't fully explain himself, which is fine. But I was kind of like hoping for a bit more back and forth with them, even if it wasn't for him to fully monologue. Just again, I'm still thinking like, this guy pretty much lied to you for your whole life, and as I said, kind of spit in your face last season. So I'm surprised at her restraint.
Yeah, that's why I do agree with his perspective on this, or his approach to this, of like, hey, if I'm going to try to convince her that I'm doing anything, that, you know, whatever, it's better for me to show her as opposed to for me to say it, because she probably doesn't trust me, whatever words I use, right? Which is smart of him, because he sets up a very, very good example.
It's very clear that this is a character we should have been focused on.
Yes.
For more of the season.
I think, to be fair, I think the show should have focused on this character more.
Well, that's what I mean by
okay.
Like, the first season they got away with, hey, we are going to save him till the end, because you need the gut punch. But it already happened, so then we should have been spending more time with him. In the present, not the past stuff.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, the dad has gotten very, very interesting in the past few episodes. But at the end of the day, I'm like, it really took a slow burn for us to get there. Like that phone call, the brain control experimentation, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, this is starting to get somewhere. But you keep focusing on the wrong thing.
Yeah. So basically, she's trying to do, I guess, a citizen's arrest, but she's trying to arrest him. He's like, well, if you're going to do this, you should use the cuffs, which he already had there ready to go, making it very clear he's not surprised by any of this is what he wants to have happen.
Yeah.
And she's like, and we're going to let everyone go, which is his opening to be like, well, yeah, like, why don't you go see them? She'd already seen them on her way to her dad. And it seemed like it was like a musical number, basically. And she's like, okay, guys, like, you can go. You can leave. And he's already set up, like, you know, these are killers and ne'er-do-wells. And they're all happy, obviously, because they're controlled. I don't think they're actually happy, but they've been brainwashed.
I think the snake oil salesman would be, because of how enthusiastically he consented, but I think everyone else, it's fair. Very clear.
He did want that to happen, yes.
Yeah.
I still don't. I guess what I mean is they're not naturally happy. Like, yes, they're on their drugs. They're the capitalist thing of like they're enjoying their distraction.
Correct.
So yeah, he's kind of like, yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like everyone wants to go, and they are like, wait, do we have to leave? We like it in here. What do we
Yeah.
And then she's like, basically it's like, well, when you're done, you can leave. I don't want you to feel like you have to stay here. Then they bring in people who I'm sure you know who they are, but I don't, like, I don't know. Is that from the Macaulay Culkin group?
Yes, they're from the. They didn't get any names.
And I didn't care about the names.
It's just the attire really
yeah
puts them to a certain faction, so to speak.
And they're fighting.
Yes.
And it gets out of hand, and it threatens to ruin everything for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucy's like, well, I'll just step in here. And obviously they overpower her. Yeah. Which then her dad's like, so press the button. It's the only way this will work. Mm-hmm. And she does. And then they're like, hey, friend, how's it going? And she has to just sit with, well, this is making things better. I don't think her mind has changed, but it is like, she can see her dad's point very clearly. She's got
conflict now. Yeah, she's definitely got conflict a lot more.
That her dad isn't on the surface hurting people. He's actually making people happier.
So to speak.
As far as she can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And has a fix for the violence she doesn't like about the surface world.
Correct. Yeah. But obviously once they start digging deeper as to what they're actually up to, it's just like, hey, hold on a minute. That's probably not going to be so great long term, but yeah. At least there's no violence here, right?
Yeah. So
there's no human will either. So yay. We just have robots in human form.
That's the Lucy stuff.
Yep.
I feel like we went through it fast. I did enjoy the dad's plan.
Yes.
It's all part of why I feel like this episode should have happened sooner in the season.
I very much agree with you.
I just feel like obviously they didn't have enough story for the amount of episodes they have.
Yeah, because to me it seems very, very clear that they have either recognized that they had too much story to tell within one season, so they had to separate it into two. But then they didn't have enough content for 2 full seasons, so they have a lot of dragger stuff going on in the beginning of the season where it's just like, hey, let's undo a character development arc from season 1, just to give you a sense of progression in season 2.
Yes, I would agree with that. Early on, you're like, but we already saw them deal with this, but it's just so that later on it feels like there was progression, even though it happened in season 1. It's basically, I feel like, what we were afraid of between Loki season 1 and Loki season 2. Only Loki season 2 actually had a good way of dealing with that.
Yeah, they really did.
And it was actively part of the text and story they were trying to tell, versus this seems to just be an unfortunate side effect that they had to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about the Lucy? I really was just like, this.
The Lucy stuff was just really condensed in this episode. I think this episode focused a lot more on the Jane and the Cooper stuff, which does make sense. But the Lucy stuff was very, very much like associated with the dad stuff, as far as I'm concerned. I just liked a lot of the visuals of like how silly they were when everyone's like okie dokie, and I'm like, yeah, see, this just goes to prove that you didn't need the chips. You got the whole vault doing that and behaving like that. Except that later on in the vault with the incest, appreciation group?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. Yeah. So that's that. Then we get to Maximus and Thaddeus. Thaddeus being the person played by Johnny Pemberton.
That's who I was looking for, yeah.
Yeah.
Thaddeus, yeah. He's a humanoid mutant, not a super mutant.
Yes. This does seem like the show realizes they were wasting time with the Brotherhood.
Yes.
Because it's like, well, we're just going to take him away from that.
Mm-hmm.
And Thaddeus reminds Maximus, like, you know what was good? Basically, they're having this debate about, like, well, I need to find someone good. And Thaddeus is like, no one's good. Like, and Maximus is like, well, Lucy was good. She's like, yeah, that was easy for her to be good. She had everything provided for her. She never had to, like, sacrifice anything or do anything. So, yeah, way easier for her to come off as a good person.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like, we should probably just go find her. anyway, and they have the
Cold fusion.
cold fusion, and I'm looking at that being like, I hope this gets explained later because I don't know what this is. I know they don't know what's going on. That's kind of their thing. It's like, well, we should give this to Lucy. She'll know what to do.
Yeah. Well, it means the ability to power, like, a city with unlimited
but it was like
power.
in someone's neck.
Yeah.
Why?
That's the part I'm like, y'all got some explaining to do, because that, like, what's going on with that science and all this kind of stuff? Because now I'm starting to think the dad is not fully human and is like part bionic or something like that.
But it came out of the scientist's neck too. Like, I think they're
Yeah.
growing it in humans.
It's
I don't know.
weird.
I don't think they're not human. I think they're just growing it in humans.
And then the other part that's weird is like, okay, so the dad got it extracted, and seemingly we're with him in the future right now, and doesn't seem to have any negative impact or something like that. So what's actually happening? Why is it planted in the necks? I don't get it.
What came out of that scientist's neck, and then they killed him.
Yeah.
But so again, I don't think there's any adverse effects to doing it. It's just one character's still alive and the other one got killed immediately.
Yep. That's all it seems to be interested in. But
But
we'll see if this is like
they're doing it that way.
I don't know if this is like all Vault Tech people have it either, right?
It could be.
It could be like the employees, the higher
Or a
ups,
certain
or whatever.
generation of Vault Tech people.
Sure, like the board or whatever it is. But either way, it's just one of those things where I'm like,
Well,
pretty sure
he
Mr.
had
House
it and
would've
he
been
was a
pretty pissed
low-level
off.
person. I don't think it's like a board thing.
that's true. He was low level back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe this is just the Vault Tech initiation thing.
To be okay, and maybe I should say, because I always have creeping suspicions that he's more powerful than they're letting on in the past.
Sure.
That he was given a low-ranking job,
Mm-hmm.
so if their plan was to be like only management gets it, that wouldn't work.
That wouldn't work.
Because she knew he had it. Like
Right.
Barb knew exactly that he had that in him.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she just learned that before she walked in the door, though. I don't know.
Maybe. Or maybe...
It would be interesting if we had like 5 more episodes to sit with this in this season.
Yeah, because
Here
I
we
feel
are.
like it's just going to get rushed. Like, it's going to get a rushed explanation to episode 7 or 8 or something like that.
Or it'll be seasons long. But it just means like I'll be like, I don't care when this is on until they give me some concrete stuff.
Yeah.
Or maybe it happened already and I forgot. I don't know.
I don't think it did, because I'm pretty sure I would have paid attention enough to be like, actually, like, this would have happened. But they just
True.
did not, because that was the mystery from season 1. They're just really not doing much to give us answers here, which is okay-ish. As long as they give us answers next episode. Which, yikes, I don't know if
I mean, it's episode 7, so yeah, I mean, we'll have more answers, I'm sure.
hopefully.
Anyway, basically the dog finds them with the hat. I'm like, oh, that's what the dog was doing. He needed a marker so that people would know who he's talking about, and he sought out Maximus. That's what I choose to believe, that he was like, Maximus can help with this.
Yeah. I don't think you're wrong about that. But it's just in the heat of the moment when the dog stole the hat, I'm like, yes, that dog's such a dick.
Yeah, I was really mad at that dog, but then the dog proved that it's smarter than I am. It's like,
Yeah.
no, idiot, I'm going to go get some people that will help. He needs people. He can't be by himself. I
Yeah,
don't want
that,
to have to deal with this guy by myself.
yeah, that dog has been smart AF through the whole season. Found the way through out of the Deathclaw nest, all that kind of stuff, and now is doing this. But yeah, finds a hat, brings Maximus and Thaddeus to the Ghoul. So that's fun. They get to link up. But yeah.
And I like that he's kind of like, oh, fuck, no. It's like, I had so much headway with that one simpleton. Now I got this one. Again, something that should have happened earlier. Like, they're shifting, like, okay, now he has to hang out with Maximus.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like they spent way too much time with Maximus away from
Yes.
either one of them.
They absolutely did. And his time with the Brotherhood was not really eventful, because it's like, I may have started a civil war, and it's just like, okay, now you're gone, though. So we don't even see that. Or, like, what that's going to look like, or whatever. But did you?
I mean,
because
more importantly,
it's...
I do not. Yeah, he did. But there's no chance he didn't. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like, yeah, of course, this is just going to be a complication for later.
Sure.
Just like the super mutant.
Yeah, it's a season 3 issue that we have.
Yeah, that's they're. I don't even want to say they're punting it to a next season. I think they're trying to plant some seeds.
They definitely are, but my expectation, I'm like, okay, season 3, y'all better pick up the pace a lot sooner, especially if you're going to do week to week, because this ain't right. As far as I'm concerned, this is one big season, and it's just part 1, part 2, which sucks to think about. It really does suck.
Well, as I said, if they want to do week to week, yeah, you might need to do like 20 plus episodes and flesh this stuff out.
Yeah, I don't think they've got the budget for 20 episodes.
Well, then they need to rethink how they're telling
the
the story.
They do need to rethink their strategy. I think we've been very clear on that since our first 4 episodes. I'm like, yeah, this
also,
should have
it's
been dropped
Amazon.
all
They
at
do
once.
have the budget. They're just not giving it to them.
That's
If that's the case.
a very good point.
I think we all know
Evil
how much
ass.
they spend on like Lord of the Rings stuff. So I feel like they would spend money on this too. I think
you're right
sure
about
it's an element of not wanting to pay a proper writer's room wage.
Yeah,
and stuff.
that makes more sense considering who we're actually talking about.
Yeah.
As the big. That would be so funny if they were like, yeah, the person that nuked it was Bezos. They're not going to.
I'm sure they would put that on Amazon just to be. It doesn't matter. You're still paying us to watch this.
That's right. It's like, okay, but I signed your check, so like, make fun of me all you want. Court jesters.
Exactly.
Still my court.
And now we get to the stuff I do not care for, which is the false stuff. The
Incest Society. Yeah.
Reg is doing his incest thing, and then he plays the piano, which I liked because it was like when we were in the other vault and they were kind of doing like the musical number with how productive they were being, and then this one I was like, well, this feels like they've got something going on creatively. I don't know how it ties into the story they're trying to tell, but at least it's something that's happening that's breaking up the sameness of the season. This is cool, and then were they talking about they're not afraid of uranium or something like that's the song they're singing?
Yeah,
Uranium Fever.
Uranium Fever. It's one of the more popular songs from the Fallout game.
Yeah,
especially if you're running around, you didn't turn off the radio for your Pip-Boy. It's definitely a very repeated song, so I'm kind of glad it finally got some airtime here. But
yeah. Well, it looks like they're having fun. I forgot that it was a dream because then they kind of pull out of it and he's kind of barely playing the piano and everyone's kind of just
chopsticks.
Yeah, it's just not going well. And then,
which I do like that though. I like that he's like tied up in his own delusion and all that kind of stuff. And
he's flying high. He's got a snack budget.
Yeah, it's great.
But then Leslie Uggams' character, which I don't remember her name,
which is
character name, but
neither do I. But it's funny to me that her character was in the pitch in the beginning of the episode with Jane. And to be like hearing the guy talk about the water chip issues and all that kind of stuff.
You're talking about Barb, right?
Barb, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not.
What?
Yeah. Did I say Jane? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Barb. Like they were together, and like she was there, and then now she's the vault overseer, and being like, "We got this chip issue that I know a lot more about than y'all do," which, is great for us. But
her name's Betty Pearson.
Betty. In the vault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. This is good that we did this. I don't feel ashamed, but I didn't know that was supposed to be Betty Pearson. At the beginning, I was like, I just got another black person with her.
Yeah.
And then you said that, I was like, oh, yeah, obviously that's the point of having another black character, so you can tie it to someone else we already know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not expanding the universe. We're just showing you.
Nope. We're just being here is diversity for diversity's sake. Done poorly.
Yeah. Well, that's cool that was her.
Yeah.
And
I'm very interested to
way
see.
To be like, she does know more, but no one's gonna listen to her. But we don't really play that tension other than out in this scene. Well, I mean, I feel like that makes this episode even better now that I know that, because at least it's like her being like, You motherfuckers, I know what I'm talking about, but you just want to listen to this guy here.
Yeah, which, like, this is just another episode where I'm like, okay, you see, they clearly know how to play the optics of the racial tension and all that kind of stuff, and they're just not willing to do it. Because when you have an older black woman that actually knows what she's talking about, and then you have a Nepo baby that's proud of it, that's like, no, you can't do that, all this kind of stuff, that just wants to be hedonistic and all that kind of stuff. That's actual tension there. That's really, really good that you can talk about and really dig into. But nope, we just want to do the optics.
I think it's because you're inside his head, so the way it's set up and directed, you're... I mean, I'm on no one's side in this moment, if I'm being honest, but you are being prompted to be on his side and see this moment of him standing up to the man and being like, no, I'm not going to listen to you. I don't need to listen to you. I'm going to do what I want to do and make people happy. So it's positioned like that instead of acknowledging the very real thing of black women trying to save everybody and then being like, hey, fuck you.
And being dismissed and berated for it and all that kind of stuff. And then not only that is like, and vilified. She goes into such, like, Betty goes into such a good explanation about it, and then immediately the other another white character is like, I am so sick and tired of hearing about the Weevil thing. And I'm like, yeah, you don't like to be minorly inconvenienced about a reality that she's appealing to that makes a lot of sense for everyone's survival here, and that is her job. Like, what are you doing? It baffles me to be like, yeah, they could have dug in there, but they choose not to, and that sucks. Because they're playing the visuals up. They clearly are, but to me, it's just like, yeah, this sucks that they're not going to actually dig into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's this Chet thing where he finds out he's getting married.
Yeah, I did like that.
What are we doing? What's happening here?
I just like the fact that they
don't talk to each other. I don't feel anything about this.
No, you don't, and I don't think you're supposed to.
Because they were characters I cared about in the first season.
Yeah, that's fair. They really took a backstage in this season, but to me, I think the interesting commentary here is just like, oh, so you don't know what, you're not in full in control of your life right now. That's interesting.
But he wasn't in control ever. Like, what?
I know.
This isn't like a new thing.
But see, this is what I mean. It's just like they're doing things that seem interesting on the surface, but they're not willing to dig into it. Because when you look at the back of the character, like the actual like characteristics of him, of Chet, is like, yeah, he was always just going with the flow and all this kind of stuff. It like, I don't know why it matters, because
Lucy.
Yeah,
that was never going to happen. Like, that was, as in, she was never going to see him as a real option for a relationship.
Yeah, just a kissing partner. Yeah. The cousin stuff.
Yeah, they did cousin stuff, but it was like, yeah, like it's not like I'm watching him. I guess in his mind things were taken away, but objectively he never had any control over anything, and he wasn't. So it's just more things that are happening to him, and I'm like,
yeah,
can I get more information on how he feels, or like what he's doing about it, or it's just constantly him being like, okay, I'll do this. Okay, yeah, this is happening now.
Yeah, because to me, I'm like, the interesting thing on the surface about this is like, oh, yeah, okay, now we got a man that's going through the process of what most young women go through when they're wedded and all this kind of stuff, in such a way of like, yeah, you actually have no control of what's going on. Everything's overwhelming to you, and everything should be frightening and anxiety provoking. I'm like, that's actually kind of interesting to explore from a man's perspective. If he had any backbone in season 1, but he doesn't. So it's, to your point, it's just like the fact that he's experiencing something about this now seems out of character, and it's just like, why though?
It just feels like, yes, we're gonna see something later.
Yeah.
But since the season starts with him being like, hey, this isn't even my baby, I don't really like this, and her being like, shut up, and then him being like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, who cares if you're getting married then? Like, what?
Yeah, he doesn't even care, if anything.
You're more upset about the bigger things of like your forcing me to take care of this baby that's not mine.
Right.
And we don't even have a connection anymore.
Yeah. Because I haven't seen her for an episode or two.
No.
You know, that actress has not been there. The whole I like how they played up the whole like Mark Cherry thing, being like, I haven't seen him this morning. I'm like, yeah, because we know he's dead. But like but like I like the fact that the guy was like, can I tell you the truth? And like the Chet guy's like, yeah, please. And he's like, I don't even like checkers. Like, that's so funny to me. It was so good. It was, but at the end of the day, I'm like, why are we spending so much time on Chet now? This feels like they should have spent this time focusing on this story in the beginning few episodes. Because then it's like, it's a go nowhere story. It would have been picked up a lot faster from the pacing standpoint from season 1 and all that kind of stuff. And it would allow us to actually justifiably have all these developments of all these different places that are going on. But no, they just crammed that all into episode 6 and 7. Well, episode 6 right now. Sorry, we haven't watched 7. Just episode 6 and probably 5. But to me, I'm just like, yeah, this is really poorly planned out in the way they wrote this. Because I don't think it's that interesting that they're getting married. I really don't. Especially if they're not willing to talk about the arranged marriage side of things.
I only see it as the final straw for him, but it's like, in a week-to-week basis, I don't see him getting upset about it with her.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like that should have been paid off somewhat in this episode.
I agree.
Like, he makes a choice that shows, like, if we want to say, like Reg, where he puts his foot down even though he's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That we see him put his foot down, and then you can save what the fallout from that is.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. You can see what the fallout from that is next episode, but this one's just him looking at a piece of paper and me being like, I guess he's going to be upset about this.
Yeah. But I still firmly believe that he's going to go along with it.
I mean, sure. I
And
don't
I'm
care
like,
at this point.
and the whole idea that Steph had a Canadian passport, I'm like, is that significant to anything right now?
I
Like,
didn't even know she had a...
she had a Canadian passport in one of the scenes early on in the episodes and all that kind of stuff. Probably within episode 1 and 4. But I'm like, is that supposed to mean anything to us? Like, does that mean that she's a spy? Like, what does it actually mean? Because at this point, I don't care.
Well, we need to actually spend time with her for me to care.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
we haven't
decided against that for some reason.
We spent a lot more time with her in season 1. There's
Mm-hmm.
been very little of her in season 2, aside from the whole like, oh yeah, I'm glad that you brought this to our attention. That scene was good, but yeah, we'll
no
see.
Norm stuff this episode.
No Norm stuff, which is, I get why they would delay it 1 episode, because that's probably going somewhere in either the next episode or whatever, but it's just like, that is one of the things that I'm like, yeah, that was interesting. I wanted some sort of evolution of that story.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure will come.
You're right, obviously it's going to get picked up. There's no doubt about it. But
Yeah.
it's a break in momentum they had. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for me personally, I've never cared about Norm's storyline until then. And they were just like, hey, just put this on the back burner for now. And I'm like, oh,
Yep.
we're losing momentum. And I think that's part of my problem with how this season starts, is there's a bunch of stuff that they put on the back burner
Mm-hmm.
so that they can have a strong finish,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to being able to have ebbs and flows throughout this. And I don't mean like low points where you're bored, but just like, you know, ratchet things up and then bring it down and have feel like it's a bit more even than just boring first half and then we're getting good in the second half.
Yeah, because it's to like, and this will probably be fully explained when we do 7 and 8 and all that kind of stuff. But the idea of like, it's not like that story is running parallel in a way that's giving us information about the rest of the stories that are being told, right? It's just like, oh, you're just really not pacing this well.
Unless it does all tie into Steph and her Canadian passport.
Maybe Steph pulled the trigger. I don't know, but who cares? At that point, it's just like, all right, so what?
I'm already preparing myself to not care about who pushes the button.
I
Which
think the
I'm
daughter
hoping means
pushes
that,
the button.
yeah, let's hope it's Janie. And then she
That's
just
what I think
ran
would
to
be
that
cool.
birthday party and was like, help me, Daddy.
Yeah, it's like I didn't realize my little stuffed toy had the kill switch or something like that. But yeah,
Yeah. So we don't have any follow-up on the Norm stuff.
nope.
And at least we know that Lucy's in a much better pairing with her dad because
Yes.
he's doing interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
And let's hope Maximus, Thaddeus, and Ghoul together is interesting. At least it's bringing people back together, which I'm all for.
Yes, I am genuinely interested in Thaddeus's character because I'm just like, yeah, they wouldn't have him hang around that long without him having something significant to do, right?
I think people just like Johnny Pemberton.
I do like Johnny Pemberton too. That's what I was trying to avoid.
I like him, but I don't. I mean, he could have something significant to do. It seems like he already is serving his narrative purpose by forcing Maximus to challenge his worldview.
Sure, that's fair. But at the same time, it's just like, oh no, that, you know what, that, no, he's the one that advocates, like, no one's good out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to be like, he was using child labor.
He's fully admitting, I'm not good, you're not good. Like, we all had to struggle, so we did bad things.
Yeah, so let's just get rich.
Yeah.
Is his point. And I'm like, interesting.
Yeah. I guess I should have ordered those notes differently because it just ended on, and then Ched finds out he's getting married.
I mean,
a big of a moment.
It is a big, it's a poopy moment for sure, but we'll see. Maybe something fun will come out of that.
Let's hope so. They got 2 more episodes this season. So
I just hope there's another delusional musical number because those are fun.
It was fun. Yeah. I fully embrace that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like we don't have anything else to say about this episode, so
no, we don't.
For people's to keep this fresh in your mind, we are doing Wonder Man next week, and then I hope I'm not disappointed like this, and then we will do episodes 7 and 8 together the following week.
That's right.
If you're loving this coverage, we will be taking a break and stopping the momentum, much like the Fallout writers.
That's right.
But we'll be talking about Wonder Man, which seems interesting, and I've purposely not watched any of the trailers. I just see images, and I'm like, oh, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, I've seen some of the trailers, but at the same time, I'm just like, okay. I'm not convinced the trailers are going to do the final thing justice, but it seems like a lot of fun, and it seems interesting, and we do get Trevor Slattery back. That's fun.
That part I'm not so happy about, but the Yahya Abdul-Mateen, the second part, I'm all for that.
No, I'm all about
and
Yahya,
the person
for sure.
who's behind it, it's Destin Daniel Cretton, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm all in for that. The constantly forcing Trevor Slattery down my throat, I'm not so into.
Yeah.
I feel like he served his purpose in Iron Man 3. That was great. I liked it. I know people got really mad. And then it's I was like, it's nice that he showed up in Shang-Chi in the dungeon, but then when they were like, nah, he'll get out of here, he's a good guy now, I was like, nah, we've lost it.
Yeah. I don't know.
But obviously Destin Daniel Cretton likes him, so I'm happy for them that they found a partnership that works for them.
That's right.
Well, that's enough talk of Wonder Man.
For now.
Yeah. We'll
tune in
we'll
for that
get
episode.
into our spoiler review of that season. Not coming out week to week, so let's see if that works.
Yep.
But yeah, Fallout at 7 and 8 will be after next week.
That's right.
But still listen to our Wonder Man coverage. I'm sure it'll be good.
Yes.
All right. Well, everybody, you can go to tdfereverything.com/spoiledrotten and find all of our details and coordinates and the whole catalog of episodes. You can also subscribe on the podcast platform of your choice. And if you want to get in touch with us and let us know all the things we're missing, you can contact us at TDF Spoiled on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, Lemonade, and email us spoiledpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Mostly if it's good, but honestly, I would love to know what people love about this in general, even if you're making fun of me while you do it. Because I want to see what everyone else sees.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
This has been a TDF Everything production, brah.